Hey everyone, this is For the Culture Podcast. We have a special guest with us today, and his name is Just John.
Yo, what's good, y'all? How y'all doing? Do I look this way? Or?
Yeah, you look
that.
All right, cool.
Where you from?
So, from Miramar, Florida. You feel me? Broward County, 954. I go to FIU. I'm currently studying broadcast media. Trying to get up out of there, to be honest. Pursue my dream, my passion. So,
You don't like college?
that's a tough question for the first question. Like,
Nobody likes college.
I don't want to
It's
say
fun.
that.
It's fun.
It's they make you go through so much stuff that is not necessary sometimes.
bro, like I feel that, and it's just like sometimes I just be like, man, is this for me? Like I be in class, like doing like creative stuff, like doodling or like writing poems, and I'll be like, bro, I could be at home, like doing something creative, but I'm
Putting
in
more
class.
time towards that.
You know?
Yeah.
Exactly. So sometimes I feel like it's like trying to strive for a plan B when you know your plan A could work. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But I mean, you learn things throughout the way, even if half
for
of it is
sure.
probably BS.
yeah, for
And It's a
sure.
great place to network. You meet a whole bunch of people. You never know who you might need to work with
That-
later on in the future.
That is facts. That's
So,
facts.
so what
yeah.
do you do on the campus?
I do a lot. So I basically used to perform and do spoken word like all throughout events and stuff. They would hit me up and perform, and that was dope. Like it got out of hand at one point because like different orgs would be hitting me up. Yo, I got this soulful jazz night. You want to come perform? And I'd be like, cool. And then they'll be like, yo, I got a fashion show, and I'd be like, all right. Like I just started doing everything at one point, and then I kind of chilled off that because I don't live on campus anymore. But then I started doing like radio.
Shit, that shit had to be expensive. We're living on campus.
Oh man, loans.
Leave it alone, boy.
For like the first year, and then I actually ended up being an RA, like a resident assistant. Y'all know what that is?
Nah, but I'm pretty sure you work for the campus, right?
Yeah, so basically I worked in the dorms and basically like made sure the kids, but like the students and everybody was good in the residence halls,
Mm-hmm.
and then they paid for my housing. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
I got a free room, my
That's a-
own room, so
It's a finesse if y'all
it was-
listen.
it was a finesse.
Damn, that's pretty
It was
tough.
a super finesse, bro. It honestly was
I
probably
was just worrying about the guys or the girls too.
the girls and guys, yeah,
So you probably met a whole bunch of girls.
for sure, for sure. But like the whole building, like pretty much the whole vibe, cause you had to like, you feel me, greet everybody, like say what's good. So
How is the FIU campus?
I've
It's
been
in
there once.
Miami.
Yeah, I've been there once.
it's interesting,
Really?
you know what I'm saying? It's very, very, very diverse, bro. That's what I love most about it. It's like it's a group of different cultures all come together. Like I had kids that were from Asia, from Japan, from like Africa, all types of places that came to one spot, and it was dope. Like I don't know how diverse other schools are, but I know like Florida being international, it was more females than males for sure.
That's
Yeah.
lit.
So that
That's
was-
always a plus.
That was a plus, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't stay focused in class. You focus on the girls and stuff.
That is facts. That's facts. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, that distraction gonna always be there. It's college, you feel me? But yeah, man, I think it was dope. Like the experience was good. I'm at this point now where I'm like, all right, this was dope. Get up out of here, graduate, get on with my life. So
That's what's
that's
up.
pretty much.
So since you say you're Dominican, why Puerto Ricans say Dominican men always cheat?
Yo, I'm funny as hell. That's a good question. I can't speak for all the Dominicans, you feel me? I just know I always get this. Like I'll tell a female like my mix, like I'll be like, oh, I'm Dominican.
They
Before
judge you? Oh, for real.
before I finish, they be like, oh, you're the devil. Nah, I can't mess with you. And I'll be like, damn, like
You don't know me.
yo, the stereotype is like that. So I don't know. I feel like, man, I don't know. I just feel like we got to do better as a community.
You never give them a reason to see that?
Yo, I just be like, look, I'm different. Like that's all I can really say.
You full Dominican or you mixed?
I'm mixed, so I'm Dominican and Jamaican. That's when they're like, oh, you're definitely crazy. Like,
damn.
You got that mix, bro.
yeah. So my mom's Dominican, so she's on the crazy side, and then my pops is Jamaican. So, and then he was from England, so basically,
he's that English.
that English Jamaican, like crazy bunch of individuals.
Nah, I heard. Y'all didn't hear the story where that Jamaican guy killed his family or his wife, and then the daughter is like in the emergency room or something like that, and he's like on the run or something. I don't know if they found him yet or not.
This is recent.
Yeah, it was like what, last month.
Oh shoot.
That's crazy.
Nah.
Yeah, I forgot what it was. I think it was because she wanted to leave him or divorce or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, he wasn't playing.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, nah,
That's
that ain't
crazy
me.
you talking
But
about? That's the crazy you talking about?
I mean, that ain't me. I mean, I try not to be that crazy. but
Don't play with me.
but yeah, man, I don't know.
So what kind of music do you do?
So I'm basically a rapper, hip hop. I love hip hop, rap. I try to sing, R&B. But I don't know. I get inspired by just how the beat make me feel. Really, like I try to be as versatile as possible, and I try to just tell my story. So I feel like if it comes out in a different genre, if it's Old Town Road, gonna take my like whatever it
Old
is.
Town Road.
You-
You could make a country song. Cause he kind of made it. He made the platform, so now you could play with it as.
I mean, do I listen to country enough? No. However, though, like if you put it in front of me and was like, "Yo, we trying to make a country hit," I try my best. See what happens. You feel me? But yeah, I got a lot of influences. J. Cole is a big, super
You
influence.
remind me of J. Cole when you freestyle.
Damn, appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's
I
love.
felt like when I heard you freestyle, I was like, you gave me like the J. Cole vibe.
Damn, appreciate
And
that.
then we do
real
the-
shit.
Huh?
Talking about real shit.
Yeah, it was just talking and it was like the flow and everything. I was like, oh shit.
Damn, that's love.
And then when you do the poetry, kind of reminds me of Wale a little bit.
That's so
You
fire.
probably influenced by Wale.
Yo, Wale was like top, like the reason why I started writing. Like no cap. Like there's a mixtape he has. I don't know if y'all heard. It's called More About Nothing.
Boy, that was my high school joint.
Bruh, that
Now
literally.
that got me through life.
I know for a fact. I remember specifically what started. I started writing because we were doing like benchmark assessment tests in high school. Some bullshit, you feel me? And I was like, bro, I'm not with this. And I think there was one period where like we just had time, like we had to just sit. And you weren't testing, you just had to sit quiet or whatever. So I brought my AirPods and whatever, my headphones, whatever, my iPod Nanos.
Yeah, I was about to say, AirPods wasn't out.
Yeah, no AirPods.
It just recently came out.
Yeah, I still don't got AirPods. Nah, but I had my little iPod Nano or whatever, and I'm shuffling through, and I used to listen to Wale.
Yeah.
He had a song called "The Problem," and he just
I
talked.
think
Or the
Jerry
question.
Springer was talking on it before. Or like,
Yeah, it was like the first song. It was like the
Not
intro.
Jerry Springer. What's his name?
Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I said
Yeah,
Springer, I'm
he
tripping.
based. I knew exactly what you meant though.
Yeah.
He based it off of Seinfeld and everything. But it was dope because like I just wrote like a reply to the song of like in my own space how I was feeling, and I was like, man, this is a poem. Like,
Cause I love the album About Nothing. That's like a classic.
Oh,
to
that's a
me.
classic too.
Yeah, his album.
Why do you
Yeah.
feel like people treat him like he's so underrated? Because he's been in the game for a while, but
I don't like his last album. I mean, I know I liked his last album. I didn't like the album.
One
I think
before
the
that?
album before that. Yeah.
well, to be in my point of view, I feel like our culture kind of got dumbed down, and Wale be saying words and stuff, and like his verses be kind of like
Yeah.
you have to go to like the
I don't
dictionary
think so though, cause
to like figure out what he meant.
Lyrics.
People don't want to do all that.
Thing, but
Yeah, but J. Cole does it
with.
with terms that we can relate
more
to.
relatable.
It's
Yeah.
relatable.
And
Wale's saying stuff like what T.I. says.
I think Wale's disconnect is because of his personality.
that
People's
too.
not connecting
That
with
too.
his
That
personality.
too. But it's also his music too, the way he rapping.
But
Because people
Wale,
connect with J. Cole's personality.
But
and they
Wale and J. Cole is
J. Cole music
J.
is not
Cole.
even as good. Like if you compare the last couple albums, Wale didn't had better albums. His last couple albums, but J. Cole's gonna sell more always because of his personality.
That too, but lyrically wise, you can't tell me that J. Cole when he talk, you have to go to the dictionary. Why Wale-
J. Cole got some words.
He got some words, but when it comes to Wale, I feel like it's like inch from word. Like
Now he
breaks-
he packs more
Yeah,
words.
he's
Yeah.
too much.
he's like a poet and
There you go. That's what I was
and
trying
like,
to say. He's
why-
more of a poet. To
And
me.
he's always cutting words and then putting
And
it.
Cole is too, but like you're saying, like Wale has a lot of like hidden metaphors and stuff that you gotta like dig to
Packs
really
it
get
in,
it.
yeah, yeah.
I think J. Cole makes it very transparent and he lays it out on the table for you. Like, yeah, he still has stuff that you're like, damn, he said.
And if you don't catch it, J. Cole somehow, some way, kind of give you a context clue somewhere down the line. Of
Facts. Like J. Cole one line, everybody sweater like Catholic school. Like when he said that, I was like,
Yeah,
oh
you
my,
see?
that shit in my head.
He hard.
But like I feel you. Like I think Wale's personality kind of disconnects him from this generation because he's like a young old head. Like he's in the middle,
Yeah.
like middle child. It's funny, like, but he's at a space where like, and I watch a lot of Wale interviews and stuff where like he's like
Depression, and he's just going through stuff. He's like a real human, but he's like bipolar kind of.
facts.
And he's
And like in
growing.
real life, you probably wouldn't be his friend because he's like all over the place.
Remember we seen him at Complex Con.
because we see
His
him.
personality
And
is kind of
everybody
like
was giving us interviews, but he just like was not gonna give us an interview. I'm like,
what he said. He was like,
he's like, you gotta walk with me.
like
And then after that, he's like, nah, we're not giving you an interview. But I'm like, dang, like, I'm one of your biggest fans. Like,
Yeah.
but I understand he's probably dealing with that all day.
Yeah.
But still, I feel like J. Cole would have gave us an interview.
He's in a different space too. Like, cause I watched his title interview and then I watched his table talk. I don't know if y'all seen it with
Jada Pinkett Smith.
yeah,
I didn't see that though.
that was fire, and that actually like talked a lot about what we're talking about now. So y'all should watch that. But he talked a lot about how like he feels like everything and everybody he encounters is like on some interview, and I could relate to that sometimes because like you go on a date or something and they're like, oh, like are you a poet, are you a rapper or whatever, and then like it becomes all questions about like that.
He said that in the Breakfast Club interview.
Mm-hmm.
I seen that one, and he was talking about when
You
you go
want
on
to escape
dates.
it sometimes?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
he just wants to be normal,
A regular person.
and his dates even trying to like interview him pretty much.
Yeah.
But you gotta understand the climate of where you at. You feel
That's
me? Like
right.
I said, J. Cole, I feel like would have gave us an interview. Meek Mill, I feel like would have gave us an interview. Like off some, you a young nigga, I'm gonna look
Help
out
you out,
kind
yeah.
of thing.
I feel that. I definitely feel you. Yeah, that's tough. Wale's a character. I think he's just going through more than the average
Yeah.
artist is,
Probably.
and he's trying to figure his stuff out. And I think I'm just glad that he's actually still giving us music. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You know, he was thinking about retiring.
yeah,
That was crazy.
Because he went through like situations with his label. I don't think he's on MMG no more.
nah,
I think he's still tied to them.
He's
somehow.
tied to
he
the. but I don't
fucked
think
with
people
Ross,
were-
but
yeah.
he got his own situation he's working, but he's still
trying to do
keeping it
his-
on the
He's trying
low.
to do his own thing.
I think he's trying to make his own label, which would be crazy if Wale made his own label. I feel like that would bring him back up to the discussion.
Would you want to do something like a major deal, or would you want to stay independent?
I really just at this point, I want to be able to release whatever I want whenever I want, right? And that's why I think I'm so solid on being independent. And I think a lot of artists nowadays aren't focused on that because they're chasing the money or they're chasing the dream, which is understandable. But I think you could have means of both, right? Like I think you could sign to a label that could put you on a higher platform if you know how to negotiate, right?
like
and,
how X situation was. He
Right.
already had a deal where they were helping him
Distribution.
But
distribute.
he had the Drake cosign, so that's a little bit different. When you
Cosign-
bring that to the table, to labels and
You
say,
know,
I got a Drake
when
cosign,
artists co-signs
like
you,
Kodak.
you know,
Well,
when
like
artists
Kodak,
when
yeah.
artists like that co-sign you, I was watching an interview. They expect you to sign to them. It's just that sometimes the art they have some type of deal going on.
True.
Like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna sign to you or something like. But it's not on paper yet. Then they co-sign the person, and then the person decides to go left, and then that's when they get
Then
mad.
it's
And then now they're
switch, yeah.
like, I don't want to look out for nobody else no more because that's money I'm missing out. I need to get
That's
them on
facts.
paper first
That's facts.
before I give them a co-sign.
That's facts. That's facts. Yeah, and like,
That's
yes,
what blew up Kodak with the Drake cosign.
Boosie kind of did him first, though.
But on a major scale,
I think Boosie's major.
nah, not like Drake.
Well, yeah, Drake is bigger, but I think Boosie did it just good enough.
But nah,
They catered to the same crowd too.
mm.
But you said you'll stay independent.
Yeah, like I think right now it's kind of that's the track for me. I feel like I'm most comfortable, and I'm not really so much in chase of the money. I'm still making sure that I'm doing this for the passion and the love for expressing myself. So the independent route to me is the most secure until I can meet a deal and negotiate something where it's like, all right, I still need to hold on to this. You feel me? But we could talk about, you know what I'm saying, X, Y, and Z. So I think I would sign, and I always say I would sign to Dreamville for sure.
Oh, that's the only people you'll sign
Because
to?
you know he'll take care of you. J. Cole,
Cole,
I feel like is a good person.
I wouldn't say this the only people because I don't want to come back later on back on my word and be like, you feel me? Like,
Somebody throw $1 million check on
if
you.
you said you were only going to sign to Dreamville, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's my biggest like focus because, like you said, the home environment, and I know that they take care of each other. I know there's other labels that do. I'm sure there is, but I want to know that the label would have my best intentions. And if I knew that and felt that, then we could talk. You know what I mean? But
What's his name? Tory Lanez was going after the whole Dreamville at one point.
yeah, I seen Shots Was Fired, and I'm with all
like
the
Tory,
Tory.
you could rap.
I like Tory too.
When you want to, you could really rap.
I like him. I remember you was talking when we was in Cali. You was like, I feel like he's doing the same music. He keeps rapping. But
Nah,
like,
but you trying to do the Drake.
I like it. I'm
But
sorry.
if you rap,
Tory this year and between
I mean,
last
who's
year,
not doing the Drake though nowadays?
sing rap.
Yeah.
between last year and this year, Tory found his sound like that he knew works. Cause you could hear it on all his music. Like,
And can we actually call that the Drake though? Like, there's people that did it before
You're
the Drake.
right, but
That's
Drake
facts.
put it on a major scale. Because
Yeah.
Ja Rule was doing it, but nobody call it a Ja
that boy
Rule.
Tory would be hot. Like, I'm not Drake. He goes, like.
So what is founder Miami 20? What is the Miami 21?
So Miami 21 is a chat I started with two of my homeboys, DJ Mari and Mark Made, also a rapper. And basically it's just a group of collectives, female, males, that we have like a chat for, special chat. And you have to be over 21, so it's Miami 21. And basically it's just us like plugging Miami together, like, okay, networking group, literally that's all it is. So like, say I know a designer and need a link, somebody with a makeup artist, bam, have all y'all in the chat that do something and cater to something. And it started off as just like we were gonna make a big chat group full of people and have like us promote our music to them. That's what it started off as. And then we seen like, we threw people in the chat and we had a description of like, yo, like just tell us what you do or like give us a little intro. And everybody's intro had something to do with something. Like I run a cupcake business, or I'm a makeup artist, or I'm an actress. And like we were like, wow, like I think we did something, because like this is forming a community of just business minded. Yeah, it's maybe like 100, 200 people in there.
Yeah, you playing, but that's a business right there. Boy,
Yeah.
you turn that into an app.
It's
Get
like
that
a
patent, boy.
That's fire. So yeah, that's what. So yeah,
People
it's,
need that. People, I hope everybody's trying to be an entrepreneur, and it'll be so much easier if there was an app that just linked everybody together.
facts.
I mean, Instagram's kind of the app that does it, like social media, but if it was something really like,
Yeah.
because you have to search for
Not
people.
on
Facts.
social media.
I'm just trying to figure out how to expand it at this point, like get it bigger. And I know, like you said, doing stuff like that definitely would help. And yeah, so it's just those organic things that start off as like you're not even trying to make something, like
And it just turns
it
out
just turns into something.
else,
Yeah, that's what this feels like. And it's still like we still keep up. Like they literally, I didn't go unfortunately, but they literally just had a dinner last night, and some of the girls were like, "Yo, I'm hungry." Like, and then one of the girls was like, she's a chef. She's like, "Hey, I'm gonna cook for y'all tonight." They had a whole like, it was at least like 5 or 6 of them that slid to her house and had dinner, and I'm like, off of a chat,
Yeah.
like off a chat. So it was cool.
I wanted to ask you, is there a different type of poetry?
What you mean by that?
Like a genre, like, you know, people have comedy and
Okay.
dark comedy. And
Yeah. So yeah, there is. I think there's more so different type of poets. There's like poetry to me will always be poetry, whether it's dark humor, whether it's love poems, or like very insightful poems. I think poetry.
educational.
Yeah, I think it'll always be poetry, because at the end of the day, like poetry is just about telling your story. So it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? I think there's different types of poets, because I think there's poets that use that dark humor very well and know how to make a bad, like a sad story funny, or poets like me that get categorized as love poets just because we talk a lot about feelings or love, or get really vulnerable when it comes to women. I feel.
Don't you feel like you gotta kind of like keep that eye on that person talking about that dark humor? Cause he might go show up at school or something.
It depends. I know a poet. I just hosted a big poetry slam for high school students, and there's this one kid. Shouts out to him, Joseph from Piper High School. He got second place in the whole competition, but he's a very dark humored poet. But he talked a lot about like his stepdad and like a lot to do with like empowerment, like about like having the courage to one day step to him.
Oh, so he's talking about like things that happened to his life he endured, and then he's releasing it out into.
Yeah, I think that's what poetry is. Like it's like experience, but then you like make it bigger and you make it more exaggerated. So that's why it comes off as like crazy, but it's really a regular like everyday thing.
Yeah, I think like you have people that exaggerate it definitely, and then it's to me I feel like if you tell your story, somebody somewhere can relate to it, right? Like if I tell my story and I talk about how this girl did me greasy, right? Somebody can relate to that somewhere.
I think everybody can relate to that. Everybody got dubbed by a girl at least once.
You feel
That's
me?
how you learn the game. That's how you learn.
And I think the more specific you get with it and telling your story is the more people relate. People think like, oh, try to make it like generalized. And like, oh, if I talk about how this girl left me, I'm going to talk about how if a girl left everybody in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being specific, how specifically did that happen to you?
Yeah.
And I feel like when people can hear the story and they hear the pain and they hear the passion and they hear the drive in it, it drives other people to understand the story. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what gets poets inspired by other poets is like hearing the story and hearing the passion. And maybe I didn't go through this, but it's like, damn, I just heard how you.
It's like watching a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Thanks.
but
Damn.
you got some men or guys that they don't want to show that side of themselves.
Yeah, you come off as people say poetry. You come off as soft.
Soft in your feelings.
And
And
they
hear
try
all
to
the time.
downplay it, like, oh, that never happened to me when it really did happen to them, but they just hurt or something.
Yeah, nah, I've heard all that, and I used to battle with that too. Like I'm still battling with that. I'll say because like it's hard, bro, to be vulnerable in this society, and especially as a man. And I talk a lot about that in some of the music I got coming up, and in a book I got coming up as well. Just a lot of like writing that I've been dealing with lately has been trying to be as vulnerable as possible, because I found myself getting to a point where I was writing things that I knew people wanted to hear, or that I knew people knew I was going through, instead of things that it was like I was really going through or really wanted to talk about.
And that's the real therapy in it, right? Like the real stuff.
That's when you feel
You'll be surprised though, that thing that you really want to talk about might be that hit.
facts.
Like, look at Juice WRLD, man. You
Facts.
don't talk about how
Facts.
a real man is somebody that can have balance, show their
Or A
emotions.
Boogie. A Boogie does it a lot too.
Yeah,
The
but Juice
Weeknd.
WRLD's a whole nother level, bro. Like I be feel like he's like
I listen to Boogie.
you know, I'm not saying you don't have to listen to him or not, but if you do listen to him, you can tell the music is like painful, like it's
Yeah.
from his heart.
I know what you mean by Juice WRLD. You talking about A Boogie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about West Side Boogie. You know what that is?
I heard about him though.
Yo, that guy there, he's from
He
Compton.
signed to
Eminem, Shady Records.
Yeah,
He got the cosign from Eminem.
Yeah.
3 years later, from the
I like him.
cosign,
I like
finally
him.
signed to.
he kind of got a little feeling to his, like
His music though, like he throws everything out
Yeah.
on the like he'll talk about his whole life and not care, and it's relatable because like you hear it and you're like, damn, like I maybe didn't go through that with like a baby mom's, but I can relate to his girl snapping on him and him being like, nah, fuck. Like you know what I'm saying, like so I like that the most, and I feel like not enough dudes do that, not enough artists do that.
Are you a real like? Because some people think you're not a man if you showing that side of you.
I think you're more of a man.
Because it takes courage.
It takes courage to be sensitive, to be vulnerable, especially in this society today. To be a man and to be like that, it's tough, bro.
I seen a post on Instagram and it was like a man gets paid $2,000 and he gives his girlfriend or wife $1,500. What is he? And you go down the comments, he's a sucker. He's this.
But they don't really mean that. Niggas is trolling.
Probably, but that's just the world we live in. That's
the
why
thing.
he's saying like
Same people doing the same thing. Like it's real life.
Some
one
trolling.
girl said he's a Gucci man. She's gonna flip his money or something like that.
Yeah, and it's just crazy how like trolling became a thing. Like I used to hear it so much, like you said, about how people like, oh, he's just trolling. But now people don't even know when they trolling.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like a natural thing. Like social media is just.
'Cause I feel like everybody's trying to go viral, and what's viral is the funny thing. So like,
They
I
say
know
anything.
me. If I see a video, if I see a specific video, I'm gonna go straight to the comments because it's gonna be funny.
Mhm.
You feel me? A whole bunch of trolls, but it's like you don't know when to turn it off. Like something.
No, but some of those people are actually think that and act like that though.
But I think a lot of them are just trying to get retweets.
That too.
Especially on Twitter. Like,
You're
you
right.
go on a Twitter post and then, like, you see something funny, you're like, damn, the comments gonna be crazy. So then you see the comment, it has like 100,000 retweets, and you're like, this nigga did it for that.
I think this is a good conversation. That's a good topic to have like a whole episode on. Because is it trolling or is it like feeling?
I think
like,
it's a balance, but I'm not gonna sit here and say don't just disregard
what
people
they're
that actually
saying.
think that, bro. Like,
Yeah, I think
people thought the KKK was kind of like kind of simmered down, dude. As you can see, Donald Trump brought them out the woodworks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of things people be like,
Donald
nah,
Trump
that's
is the
just trolling.
biggest troll.
That's just trolling. That's just trolling. But then you see the motherfuckers.
And it's really happening.
Yeah, it's really happening, bro.
What-
Omar Hardwick, the Ghost from Power.
Yeah.
So he has his own poetry thing. Explain that to me, like how you got involved with all that.
So I was talking before about like high schools and basically Omari Hardwick from Power got together with Jason Taylor,
The football player,
former
Miami
Dolphins
Dolphins.
player,
Okay.
started an organization called Blue Apple Poetry. And it's like, it started off as an aftercare program. One of my homegirls, Autumn, wrote a poem one day. And they heard her poem. She spit it like in the aftercare program. And they were like, wow, this is so impactful. Like, this meant a lot. So they started a poetry organization. So every year they do this this slam called Louder Than a Bomb that started in Chicago and they brought it to Florida. Basically, it just gives a platform for kids. It's like a 30-day festival, but it's not every single day, but it's in the span of 30 days. They probably have like 4 or 5 rounds, and they give kids a chance to get up on stage and perform in front of other high schools and compete. And this year I participated in it in 2015, my senior year of high school. Never ever spit poetry on stage before, and like the competition was in March, and I remember I joined the team in February and was just completely like lost. Like, was like, I'm a rapper, I don't do poetry, but I can spit, so we'll see how this goes. We ended up winning the competition and flew to Chicago, and like Omari's like a mentor, Jason Taylor's a mentor, and
So you met them face to face.
yeah, like I've seen them. They come to the finals. They're busy dudes, you feel me? They got lives and they got ambitions that they're trying to reach. But
I got a quick question. So, how does he greet you? Does he kiss you on the cheek like Beyonce? Or like, does
Nah,
he hug you?
they cool. When I met Omar, I only met Omari once. I met Omari. It was a handshake. What's good? I was introduced by somebody that was head of the organization that could have introduced me to him. He was just like, "Hey, how you doing? Cool." Kept it pushing. You feel
So
me?
they both do poetry?
Omar is big on it. If you go on his Instagram, he just
Huge.
started a podcast with and stuff.
Huge.
He's
Omari's
very big on that now.
poet. He makes music.
I didn't know he made music. I thought he was just Ghost, you know?
Yeah, he acts. He's just an entertainer. Jason Taylor, he's more on the business side of it, but you could tell he appreciates it because he came to the finals that we had like 2 weeks ago, and I seen him and we have more of an interaction. We talk more because I work in his office, so me and him
He
have
has an office out here too?
yeah in Weston. Yeah, so we
And
have
he's from Miami too, right?
so we have more of like a encounters.
Omari is not from Miami, right?
That's a
Because
good
he be
question.
down here a lot,
I
and he
don't-
does a lot down here. So how do you feel like? Is he low key from here and he's trying to get back, or?
I'm pretty sure he's not from here. I don't know where he's from, so don't quote me. But yeah, he's dope. They're both dope. You know what I'm saying? They're dope figures that really care about the community. And I think that's why I work for this organization. So they have me as a teaching artist now. So I won in 2015. 4 years flash forward. Now I go to the schools, the high schools, and I teach the kids like writing skills and poetry to compete in that competition. So it's literally like like you feel like you give back to something that like gave you
Helped
something.
you? Yeah.
Like that's how I feel right now.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay. And what made you start acting? Because you was in a film.
I played ball in high school. It always goes back to high school. I feel like my senior year was like my most impactful like revelation year. You feel me? High school, my senior year, I played ball. I ended up like not getting a scholarship to play college. Cool,
No,
whatever.
you only played senior year, or?
I played my sophomore, junior, and senior year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No
whatever.
scholarships, no
No-
D2, D3, nothing?
Like just not stuff I was looking forward to.
Oh, bullshit.
I kind of made the realization of like, hey, I'm gonna go to school and pursue this, and like basketball was always a passion and like a dream of mine, but
Mm-hmm.
I was realistic with myself sometimes, which sucked because I kind of shot my dream. But anyway, that's a different story. But my senior year, my homeboy was doing a play. So while I was going through the playoffs in basketball, he was having play rehearsals for this part that he wanted me to play in. It was a simple, like, I thought it was going to be a simple play. Ended up like losing in the.
Yeah. It looks easy.
It-
When
I-
you actually get it to you, like,
You feel me? I thought it was gonna be like,
like preparing you have to do.
and like I thought it was gonna be like 50 people there. Like, all right, like cool, I could perform in front of like two classes of people, whatever. Ended up, the play was the same day as one of our playoff games we were gonna have. We ended up losing the game before that, so we never had that game. So I ended up being able to be in the play. When I say there was like 600, 700 people in the crowd.
That's crazy.
For a high school play, I was shook. I was shook. So we have this part where he was a director and he also acted in it. His name is Malcolm. He's dope, super dope dude. So we had a part where in the beginning, me and him come out. We're like best friends in the movie. We're in the play. We're also like cool in high school. Like we were close in high school. So we come out like together, and when we came out, it was a standing ovation of people, bro. Like I don't know how to feel. I didn't know how to feel. It was just like 600 people like look, and I'm walking this way to like the crowd's over here, so I'm trying to like keep my head down, and I'm looking, peeping over, and I'm like, oh, there's so many people here. Anyway, the play was called The Mask. It was super dope. It was a super great experience, and from there, I was like, man, like this acting stuff is fun. Like it's cool. Never did anything again after. Oh, actually, I did a play last year with one of my mentors named Mr. D. For like a theatrical mixtape. So that was more of like poetry and rapping inside of a play. So it was easy. It was just like performing a poem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then my homeboy, again, Malcolm, hit me up. We hadn't talked in like 2 or 3 years and was like, yo, I got this movie I'm working on. Like, come be a part of it. And I was like, all right, cool. It gave me like 3 lines, but it literally was like a dope experience. It was just, it's on YouTube. It's called Reckless. It's about human sex trafficking, how prevalent it is in the world, and in Miami at that. We're like the second largest or first largest leading city
I'm about to
in
go check that out.
human sex trafficking. Like, so it's a real thing. He has a rescue mission. He has a way to like get people involved.
In the movie or in real life?
In both. So he has a hotline you could text. I think it's, I don't know for sure. I think it's 55522, but don't quote me on that. You can look up Malcolm Hawkins. Malcolm, that's, you feel me? The movie's called Reckless. It's on YouTube. It's super dope. Like the actors and actresses in it. Shout out Leanna. Shout out Isaac. They're all fired. Like it's dope. It's
Alright.
dope.
And seeing you open up for Jacquees and Ball Greasy.
Yeah, Jacquees and Ball Greasy. That was, what was that? A year ago? A year ago. That was my first real music performance. Ended up opening up for Jacquees and Ball Greasy. That was I don't know, maybe your schools have it, but like FIU has like a big concert they do every year.
Yeah, I think we have Future or something
Like
like that.
homecoming or something?
Yeah, like a homecoming concert. So they have 2. They have one for fall, which is homecoming, and they have one for spring, which is like their big.
Yeah, I think all colleges do that.
So ours was called Bayfest. So they had Jacquees come, they had Ball Greasy come, and they knew I did music, so they asked me to open up for them. And I thought that was cool. I ended up meeting Ball Greasy's manager. We chopped it up. I spit him a song. He never hit me back. He told me, actually, I spit him a song. He told me send it as just the vocals as an MP3. I got super excited. Sent it to him the same day. Never got a response back.
Hey, follow up, man.
Hey, I be trying.
No, sometimes it's just not the right time. That's how artists be
Facts.
operating. Sometimes it take a while because they're busy and they kind of have a understanding of what's going on in the culture right now.
Yeah.
So maybe when it's appropriate, and he's gonna be like, "Oh shit, that's the song I was gonna put it together."
Yeah, I ended up turning that into a song too, so that's dope. Yeah, man. So that was cool. That was a good experience. Yeah, it was a dope festival.
I got a couple questions for you. I asked all my guests a couple questions.
Cool.
So what would you rather have? Would you rather have a spiritual partner or a sexual partner?
Oh damn. You know, that's dope. I like that question. Definitely spiritual. I feel like, and this is me like being vulnerable with y'all for sure. Like I've had instances where you've had that like sexual relationship and it was purely sexual, you feel me? And like you'll never get the same connection with somebody as when you're connected with them like spiritually, mentally, and then have that physical connection. Like that's like unmatched, you feel me?
When
So
you
like
say spiritual, does it both of you guys have to be to God, or can she be into like other stuff like Buddhism or?
I'm very open, because I will never like tell my woman or like tell somebody what they should believe in. I try to be very like understanding. But whatever your higher power is, I'm Christian, so I believe in God. I believe, and that's like, I think when two can get together in whatever they believe in and come to a mutual and understand that like there's something bigger than them, I think that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And I'm currently in a situation like that where I'm working with somebody and we're getting to that point. And just speaking through the journey, I'm literally reflecting. It's a process. It's tough. It's hard. It's painful. It hurts. But like,
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
Everything is hard and painful.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I heard something where it was like, anything that comes easy, just don't last. Anything that you have to work for lasts.
And you're gonna learn way more during the process than you will if it was easy.
Yeah, things that come quick leave quick. Like
It's like what they say about fast money.
yeah, and yeah, like I think there's definitely longevity in like putting time and effort into it. It's just making sure you have that balance where you're not putting all your energy and investment into it and being fucked over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Can you date somebody who don't believe in higher power at all?
I've never had to deal with that before.
What is that called anyway?
Like atheist?
Yeah, I think it's atheist.
I've never actually. I dated one girl that was like that, but we never really got far enough to
get to that conversation.
Get that point. Like yeah, that was more just we was chilling. But I think I'm open to it. I think there has to be a purpose and a reason, and it all relates back to like your past and your history behind like what's the reason why you believe this way, like blah blah blah. And I think when you open up those conversations, that's your way of navigating through like how you guys can come to that compromisation. Whether it's like, hey, well, give this a try and see, because maybe some people that are atheists never been exposed to like.
Never been to church.
Never been to church.
Never experienced God. Never anything. Yeah.
So maybe that's a conversation that you can plug them in to get them involved. Or if they're rejecting it and completely against it, well, why do you reject it? Maybe they were forced upon, like Christianity or something was forced upon them. So forcing it on them again isn't the right way to go, right? And maybe you'd want to like just do your thing. And I think dudes, especially men, we have to take the time to be leaders with our women. And I think we have to know how to lead women the right way. And part of that is spiritually. I think when a man is with a woman and they know how to like have a relationship with whatever their higher power is, I think women will follow by example, whether it be the same higher power or their own. I think when we set that example, they'll be like, oh damn, okay, my man is doing this. I think that works.
Yeah, it starts with God, I feel like.
And that's where I'm at. That's literally, I'm glad you asked that question, because I'm literally in the midst of all that right now. So,
how do you feel about, since we're talking about God, I was talking to this Jamaican cat, and he feels like God did not make gay people, so he don't like gay people.
I hear that a lot in Jamaican household. A lot of Jamaicans do feel that way, and that's kind of like a culturally adopted thing for them. I kind of used to think like that.
I think we all went through that stage in high school because we're young and dumb. As you grow older, you realize like they're not doing nothing to you, so why you hate them so much? Why you care what they're doing with your life? That's their life.
Facts, and it's like that hate is only doing more harm. And I think I'm more accepting to it, and I've been exposed to the community more of like gays, like LGBTQ and stuff like that. I think like whether or not I believe it's like you were born with or you were like a choice you made, I think people have to learn how to accept people for who they are. You know what I'm saying? And I think whether think they were born like this and will never change that way, or whether they think that, or whether they were exposed to it and chose to, I think people have to learn how to accept people, and I think that's what we struggle with as a community. Like, we don't know how to accept people for, like, hey, like, this person may be gay, but they may be a great person. Like, yeah, they don't adapt to everything that you believe in or you think is culturally acceptable, but they could be a great friend. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I heard they are great friends. The only thing about them I be hearing is, hey, you can't do business with them. Because when something happens, bro, they go off the rails. That's what I heard. They're good friends though. Like, they keep the real too. Like, they're cool people. So, I know a couple. I met a couple, but it's not like I'm chilling with them every day and I talk to them every night and stuff like that. So I'm not close, but I'm not gonna be like anti-gay or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I know Jamaican cat, you don't even want to be around them, bro. Like, it's like, oh, you just relax, bro.
Yeah. Like,
and then they say people that act like that usually gay themselves.
Like, homophobic, I think, that's a problem sometimes. I think it's toxic. For you to have hate, like, for you to get hatred to, like, be around that environment, I think is bad. Like, I've been around gay people and stuff and never felt like hatred towards them.
He said he's gonna teach it to his son. I said, so what, you are the black KKK now?
Yeah, I don't condone that.
Like, come on, bro. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. It's a mix of, like, the older generation trying to learn what this new generation is about, and people be lost, man. You just gotta like raise awareness. You know what I'm saying?
Got another question. This is going way left though.
That's cool.
How do you tell your girl her vagina smells?
My girl vagina don't smell.
No,
I'm
but
just kidding.
if you're in a situation where, because you know girls go through their situations, but
Nah,
I mean,
I feel you.
what is it, yeast infections and stuff
Yeah.
like that?
That's nasty.
I mean, it happens, bro. Almost every girl had one before.
Tell her that shit smell like.
You said tell her that shit. Just, hey, bro, like
Your shit smell, she gonna tell you.
like
Nah,
midway,
some
like
people
you,
don't want to because it's kind of
If that's your
disrespectful.
girl.
Like,
If
you
it's
pulling
not
down
your
the
girl,
panties
if
and
it's
then
not your girl, she might not tell you. But if it's your girl, she gonna tell you. She definitely gonna tell you.
I think being honest, it sucks because you might seem like an asshole at first, especially if
So you're gonna say your shit smells.
like while you pulling down the panties, like her pants and shit. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
I mean,
I agree.
You with this lady, so it's not like. It's
So you're
not
gonna
a
say
bitch.
just
Wait,
like
alright,
that, your
so-
shit smells.
Let's create a scenario, right? So this is my girl. Let's say per se, this is my girl, and
Just like when she got bad breath.
this is just a one day thing or just everyday thing. Like,
Everyday thing. That's your girl.
is she like? But I'm saying like it's always smelling, or
Oh,
this
okay.
one time I smelled
Alright,
it.
so let's
it's
do
like-
two scenarios.
Alright.
Let's do the first one.
Okay.
It smelled that one time.
Okay.
Do you do the pass? You still eat it out? Or?
Nah, yeah.
Nah, I think you gotta be honest, cause look, I'm gonna be honest. You like, let's be honest. You eat it out and you smelling that, and you not with it. It's gonna turn you off. You're not gonna wanna. You feel me? I think you need to be honest.
Yeah,
Let
but
her
some
know.
girls, what do the girls say? Oh, I'm
Subconsciously.
always sucking your shit when you got sweaty balls or something. I know niggas out at the party be like, yeah, I got girls.
Nah, I wouldn't let.
got the
I
sweaty
wouldn't.
balls.
Hey, I had to clean up before I let my shorty grab my joints, cause I feel like that I want that same respect. So I treat her how I want to be treated. So
True.
I want to get in it smelling like roses. So
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I'll make sure. Now the other scenario where it's always smelling, I think that's a conversation that needs to be had.
With
Very
the
like.
doctor, not with you. You need to go call her doctor up, speed dial, something. Man.
Oh snap! That's funny. I think yes, I agree. I also think like just being honest in a nice way. I feel like that's a tough conversation to have alone. So saying it so bluntly, it could be like challenging for you and for her. Like subconsciously, like that hurt. Like imagine she was like, "Yo, you got a small dick," and you're like, "Damn, ain't nothing I could do about that." Like maybe the smell is nothing she thinks she can do. So
I don't
like.
think girls talk crazy like that, bro. Why they best? They lying, bro. Cause why she with you?
That's true.
They do that to hurt guys' feelings. And I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I don't care what y'all tell me. Men have fragile ego.
Facts.
I mean, if it's the truth, it's the truth. I already know half the shit that. I mean, I know what's wrong with me. So like,
You talking like you sick?
I'm serious. Like, it's nothing she could tell. Like, if you know it, it's one thing. If you got like bad. If you smell it, she doesn't know it, or you don't know it.
Mhm.
Oh,
If you know it and it's known, you can't really.
But you know they say your hygiene that you think is all right can stink to somebody else, and you
Yeah.
won't
Yeah,
even
but-
notice it.
That's why that person has to tell you.
That accountability, man. Just having that accountability for that partner to tell you, like, I stress that with my girl too, like, it may be tough sometimes, but I'll be like, yo, like, your breath, like, or like, I know her breath don't always stink, like, or nothing, but
I
I'll
mean, it
make
could
sure.
be she just ate something and then her shit just stank or something.
Exactly.
I mean, you just
And
say it.
It's same.
But I
thing.
feel like the breath thing is kind of easy. Like, you feel me? Like, hey, babe, that shit ain't working today. Your breath
So that conversation should be the same way with
Everything.
her pussy, to be honest. I think you should be able to be open enough with your woman or your mans to be like, yo, like, and then knowing that it's out of love, right? Like, knowing, like, I'm telling you this because, like, I want you to know and be okay, and I also want to be okay.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, she gotta respect it. I
Yeah.
mean,
Facts.
what
I mean, she with you, so.
You don't want your girl walking around going to work.
And your girl
crazy.
don't want to smell bad to you. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like, to me, like, scent is one of my biggest turn ons. So, like, I feel like smelling good is like A plus, and it has to always be a thing. You feel me? Which, shout out to my girl. They always keep clean. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, that's a conversation that I think you should be comfortable with each other to have. And however you address it is how you address it. So, like, if you're like, babe, your shit stink, like, on some playing shit, or if you're like, hey,
Yeah.
listen, I think we should get in the shower. Like, however you decide to address it, I think y'all should be comfortable enough to.
So where can everybody find you, and if they want to search your music and stuff like that?
Alright, so the name's Just John. So you know that he's the man. He could be the grizzly bear with his bare hands. You can find me on Instagram, Just John IG. That's JustJohn IG. You can find me on Twitter, Just John TW. I feel like I kind of just make a little acronym. You could just search up Just John on anything, and I'm sure I pop up. You just look for the light skinned dude with the dreads. Ain't much Just Johns that's light skinned with dreads that does poetry and rap. So
All right.